everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. Today is my August wrap up and my September TBR. August was not the best month for reading for me. So this might be another short video, but that's okay. I've read 93 books so far for the year. My goal is still 150 books. So I am a little behind, but honestly, I think I'll be fine. I mean, I'm almost at 100, come on. I read 11 books in the month of August, and I realized that I absolutely forgot to mention a book that I read in July in my July wrap up. I don't know why that happened, but I wanted to go ahead and start off by talking about that one. So I read the book, The Real Story Behind the Real Housewives, and that was by Brian Moylan. I got that, I got approved for that on NetGalley. I rated that 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. If you don't know, if you don't follow me on Twitter, or if you just don't know in general, I love reality TV. I love housewife shows. I've always loved reality TV. Housewives isn't always necessarily my favorite. I do love Housewives of Potomac. I don't really watch Housewives of Atlanta anymore, but I used to love Housewives of Atlanta, Shaws of Sunset, Family Karma. Don't even get me started. I mean, I watched every single one of these shows. Married to Medicine. Okay, Bravo's like one of my favorite channels. So as soon as I saw this, I requested it and I was like, okay, absolutely, I have to listen to it. It was an audiobook. It was really, really fun. If you're somebody who likes the Housewife franchise, I think that you would really enjoy the audiobook. Brian is the narrator and he has his own little experiences. Like he went on a trip that Vicky did from Housewives of Orange County, where she would take people to that place she likes in Mexico, and like they would do like a fan trip. Absolutely wouldn't go now because look at Vicky. If you follow, you know she's, I would not want to hang out with her. But it was like really funny, very like cute insights. He made a lot of really good points about like different franchises. So like if you're somebody who watches Housewives of Beverly Hills, he pointed this out and I did not notice this, but he was like, they focus on one story and like that's the whole season. So Puppygate, I don't even watch Beverly Hills anymore. I stopped watching quite a long time ago, but like obviously I follow the drama Instagram channels, whatever. I follow those. So I knew about that with Lisa Vanderpump. I know what's going on with Erica Jane right now. That's all they're talking about. So he had a lot of really funny insights into the show and the franchise that I really liked. So yeah, give it a listen if you're into that. And just in general, it was a really, really good audiobook. He did a great job narrating it. Next up, I read a lot of manga. I decided that I wanted to start collecting Noragami and like reading the whole thing. When I started watching Noragami, I started watching it as the first season was coming out. So I kind of stopped at a particular part. And honestly, I think I stopped where the volume 6 is. So what I read in the month of August was volumes 1 through 6. Where it ends on the 6th volume, I'm pretty sure that's where I ended in the story in the actual show, because I really don't remember anything after that, but it's been quite some time. So I'm enjoying that. Really, really, really liked it. I got the 5th volume of Raw Hero. Still following the same story, still very funny. Again, you have to have read Prison School, watch Prison School to kind of get the plot here. You know, obviously it's very, very 18 plus, very, very XXX rated, but it's also pretty funny right now. So yes, those are the manga that I read. We're doing good. We're moving quite right along. Next up, I read 3 young adult books, and let me tell you, I wish I had the physical copies with me. I had to return them to the library, but I pulled the card for read a book that everybody seems to have read and you haven't. and I chose The Cruel Prince. That one I did have on my Kindle because it was like $1. Wow. Okay. It got me. Okay. I did not think I was going to like The Cruel Prince. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm obsessed. It is good for what it's giving, but I definitely, it's not, oh, no, you know what? I'm not even going to go there. It was entertaining to read. I definitely skimmed quite a lot of it because it follows that, what you're used to, young adult fantasy kind of fairy situation, in my opinion. But once it got into Jude and Carden and her kind of discovering what was going on with when she became part of the Secret Assassins or whatever, I was like, okay, I'm liking this. I was very frustrated when I read this book though. So I read that and then I quickly went to the library and got The Wicked King because the way it ended, I was like, okay, I have to continue. Okay, I have to. So I'll start off by saying I rated both of these, we'll just give it a 3.5 stars. The second book had me pissed off. I'm angry. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because still there's been some people who haven't read the series. I know it's been out for a long time though. So what I will say is basically, for those who don't know, I probably should have started with that. So don't ask me to remember what the damn place is called. It's the Fairy Kingdom. Okay. Basically, Jude and her sister Taryn, they are human. They have another sister named Vivian. Whatever. We'll just say Vivi. She is obviously different from them. One day that they're kids, something happens and they're taken back to fairy from the human world. So you have Vivi, who is fairy, she is fae, whatever. And then you have Taryn and Jude, they're twins, they're human. And it's not very kind for humans when they're living in the fairy world. Basically, they're very mocked. They're kind of people might want to have them for help, or they might want to have them for sex. It doesn't seem like much is very consensual, to be honest with you. So they get tricked a lot, blah, blah, blah. It's not a great existence. So Jude enjoys living here because she got brought to fairy when she was 12? I don't even know how old they were. They were very, very young. She and her twin sister both want to stay here, but their motives are completely different. Jude is more of I want to be a warrior. I want to kind of be in the politics scenes, not totally into politics, but she wants to be part of the warrior side of things. Whereas Taryn, she wants to basically be married. She wants to be married to someone that is fae. That's her thing. She thinks that that's the way that she will get respect. Or at least not be treated like total shit. Versus Jude, it's not a good clashing. And they are terrorized constantly by this group of other fairies that are their age. Blah, 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 blah. There's some political stuff going on. There's some things being discovered. So on and so forth. I thought it was a really interesting story. That was a really interesting story, but only towards the end in The Cruel Prince. I could have done without some of the other stuff, but you understand why it's there. Taryn. Oh, I hate Taryn. I think that this is pretty common. I don't know that there's probably anybody who likes Taryn, and if you like Taryn, I'm sorry, I am going to judge you. Why would you like her? She's awful. Same thing in The Wicked King. So because that's a sequel, I won't go into that, but it's still kind of following Jude, Taryn, these other characters. And again, hate Taryn. Might hate Carden a little bit, but I kind of started to like him. I think that the series for me, because I have Queen of Nothing. I did get it from the library. I think this will be a solid 3.5 star book series for me. I wouldn't go out of my way to purchase it again. Obviously I got it for really cheap for the first book on my Kindle, but I probably don't need to have the physical copies, but I wouldn't hate going back and revisiting that world either. So it was good. Next up, Ace of Spades. 5 stars, period. That book was fantastic. So I listened to that as an audiobook, loved it as an audiobook. I would absolutely recommend it as an audiobook. Narrator was fantastic. The story, holy God. Honestly, everybody who said that it is a combination of Get Out and Gossip Girl, they are completely right. Like, you're right. I can't even go into how much more right you are. It was fucking awesome. So it's following Devin and Chiamaka. They're two Black students in this predominantly, if not all, white high school. And Chiamaka is, well, she's biracial, but she's still, like, obviously a Black woman, or Black girl. Oh, my girl, because she's in high school. So she has always tried to go through high school being popular, and it's her senior year, and like, she is at her most popular at her time in school. Devin, on the other hand, doesn't really care. He's just trying to get into Juilliard, but like, they come from opposite sides of town, I guess you could say. Chiamaka has, like, she comes from wealth, and Devin does not. You know, Devin's father's in prison. Devin's mother's working several jobs. You know, he has to help take care of the kids. He gets involved in some other stuff, or kids, I mean his brothers. He has to get involved in some other things that, you know, he really would not have liked to get into, just so he can help support the family. So different walks of life, but obviously both two Black people that stand out in this all-white school with different experiences. And then on top of that, Devin, and this is not like a spoiler, this is very much a part of his character, like early on, Devin is a gay man, or a gay boy, no. And this isn't a spoiler, this is very much a part of the, like, beginning of the story with Devin, but Devin is gay. So not only is he somebody who, completely different life from Chiamaka, you know, he is friends with gang members, kind of concerned about being out in a situation like that. But anyway, so it's the senior year. It has meant so much for Chiamaka to become a prefect. She gets that, but so does Devin. And people are a little confused, especially Chiamaka. There's a new headmaster. He's very cold, and everything starts to change for both of them, where Devin obviously has only cared about, hey, I want to work on my music, I want to go to Juilliard, that's my goal. Chiamaka, she has her own path, but even though she has a lot of frenemies, she's also, like, been very supported, I guess you could say, in school. And that's when everything starts to change in their senior year. Someone is clearly targeting them. Someone is trying to sabotage them. And what we find out is, and I'm not going to give too much away, so let me think how to say this. So something or someone is trying to sabotage these two. And for the reader, I think we can all, like, we know, like, it's because you're Black. For them, that doesn't catch on so quickly. And then you see, like, how dark their paths have been, like their personal lives, and then what they present to the world. I think you could specifically say Chiamaka, but blah, blah, blah. Holy shit. Already the premise is, like, fucking crazy, but I feel like those two characters were so well developed. Like, there's so much deeper what has happened to them in their personal lives. I cried with the Devin thing and his dad. Not gonna go into details. I sobbed when I read that. Oh my God. I sobbed when we find out what's, like, insinuated several times about Chiamaka, which I kind of felt like that's where we were going with this. Oh my God. Like, just fucking amazing. The ending, fantastic. If this was something that became a series, I will read every book. I want to know what else is happening. But basically, it's just, again, like, think Get Out, Gossip Girl. Like, I don't even know what else to do. Like, I don't even know what to say. But anyway, did I already say it was 5 stars? Yes, 5 stars. Listen to the audiobook if you can. I absolutely want to own the physical copy, but I really want it in paperback, so I'm going to wait. But ooh, it was really, really good. I was so glad I got to read that book. And then last, I read In My Mother's Footsteps, a Palestinian refugee returns home. I gave that one 4 stars. I actually listened to it as an audiobook and then read the digital copy. I got it from NetGalley. I will say this, the chapters were quite long. So when I listened to it as an audiobook, it did kind of feel like it was dragging on. So I would probably suggest, unless you like that, I would suggest maybe go to like the physical copy or digital copy, because I much preferred reading it in that way. Definitely a fantastic book. She's talking about her time, she's talking about her time as a child, her memories of her mother, her mother's memories, and when she's talking about when she goes back to her childhood home, and obviously someone has settled into it, and, you know, taken it. It was this, one thing that stood out to me that was really like frustrating, and obviously like the reality was, you know, her mother was very specific about, oh, and there was this tree that we planted in the back and blah, 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 blah. And the person who was living in there now acted almost like they were the first people to live there. And I've never had anyone make like noise like that. I don't know if y'all heard that, but interrupting the video. Stop. You know, going to your childhood home and then you have people who have, you know, taken it because, you know, her mother, her family was forced to leave, and then people took it and now they live there, acting as if like, I lived here. You know, I lived here. Why are you behaving as though like I'm not a real person who lived in this house, and like you were the one like who built it, basically, like it didn't exist until you lived there? What a crazy experience to go through. There's also a moment in the book where she and her husband are kind of just traveling throughout, and they come upon a place that clearly was like a place that was like some, I guess you could say like a village, and it was like wiped out. There were some pieces here and there still around, and then she went to look back, like she went to the internet to look at like the area that she was in, and then she saw what actually happened there. And you think, oh my God, like I'm standing in a place that was destroyed and people lived here, to then meet someone that was where they used to live. So the piece of, I think it was a hinge that she took from the area, she then returned it to somebody who used to live there. And it's just like, it's a very sad reality, you know. This is where she is from. This is her home. This is where her family's from, where her family has lived for years and years and years. And it doesn't quite feel that way because people have taken it from you and said, no, it's mine now. How do you emotionally deal with that? But a really, really fantastic book. I would absolutely recommend it. It did already come out, so you should be able to just go ahead and read that if you'd like to, even though I got it early on NetGalley. So yes, 4 stars. There you have it. So those are the books I read in October. Now we're going to talk about what I want to read in September. Actually, now I should probably talk about what I'm still currently reading that I've said several times that I want to finish and I haven't. Okay, so I have to look up to the side. What I'm currently reading is I'm still reading The Year of the Witching. That was a card I pulled from the October, not October, for the August stuff. So I do want to finish that because I think I've made it like 40% of the way through. I'm almost done with Midlife Bites. I still need to finish the, the book of essays about being child-free, and then Jasmine Throne, which I still have not, I haven't even made it past, probably 10%. I'm very disappointed in myself because the audiobook is really good so far, so forgive me. And I'm also in the middle of still reading the same, third book in the third or second, I don't even know now. Maybe third book in the series for the Indian League, which I think is Circus of the Damned. So yeah, basically what happened to me last month is I was just like, I'm gonna start buying things that I said I wasn't going to do, which was manga, and I'm going to read it, and that's what I'm mostly going to read. So I'm very disappointed in myself. I'm going to try to get better. I promise. I promise. So the things that I want to read next month, or this month, we're in September. I want to finish all of those books. I really, really do. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I really, really do. I got some more volumes of Noragami, so I want to finish that series. Well, what I have. And I don't know. Can you see behind me? Can you see that I have several piles of books? Let me move out of the way. Let me see if you can see. So, not those on the floor. I don't know if you can see those. But pretty much almost everything here that's stacked. So those at the top I read. Those are what I newly bought, which is Noragami. Most of these I haven't read. And I've read most of the stuff in the bottom, if you can't see, but there's still some stuff I haven't read. So I'm gonna make a point that I have to read every single volume of manga that I own right now. That's what I'm gonna do in the month of September. I'm reading every new volume that I bought, and that's it. Like, not that's it, but like that's like, I'm putting my foot down. I'm reading that. And then I'm also gonna read something else. So lovely people who watched my last video of, you know, trying to keep myself accountable for all of the fantasy books I read. I'm going to start in the month of September reading 2 fantasy books. So let me get the first one, and then I will show you the other one, because I'm trying to be a good person. I'll be right back. All right. So I have 3 books here. I am reading these in the month of September. I'm not going to make any excuses. These have to be read because they have to be read. Really, that's it. So I want to read Holy Sister because this is the last book in, what's this one called? The Book of the Ancestors. It's the last book in the series. I started this a few months ago. We're back into school in this one, so it started to piss me off. But I really want to finish this series and just have it done and over with. So I'm going to finish this series this month. I am going to read the second book, The Children of Virtue and Vengeance. This is by Tomi Adeyemi. It's not even that long. It's young adult. It's really not going to take me that long. So I really want to finish this series because, like I said, I'm pretty sure this is duology. Again, didn't take the time to look. I apologize. But I'm pretty sure this is a duology. If not, it's fine. I am going to finish this series this month. And then I'm going to start a series. I have decided, I made an executive decision that I will start Malice by John Gwynne. What's this one called? The Faithful and the Fallen. Now I'm going to start it. I didn't say I'm going to finish it. I will start this month, and my goal is I want to get at least halfway through this book in the month of September. If I can finish it, that would be even better. But I'm going to start this, and I would really like to finish this entire series by the end of the year. I have so many months left, but I need to start. So what I'm going to be doing, the Naruto TBR challenge starts next month again. I'm still going to be pulling cards. I'm still going to do what I need to do. That's going to happen. But once I get these other 2 books, like, I know that I want to finish, I have to start every single series that I made in that video. I at least have to start it because I have too much on my TBR and it's just getting outrageous. So, deep sigh. There you have it. That is my wrap up in my TBR. Do you think I can do it? Do you think I can finish these fantasy books? Do you believe in me? I believe in me. I certainly believe in myself. So thank you for watching. You know, keep me accountable. I'm gonna keep myself accountable. I might tell my sister to yell at me and tell my husband, like, what, read the book, you know, gesture at it like, huh, finished? And maybe put a reminder on my phone of like, hey, where are you at? That's a good idea. So yeah, so thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like the video. And if you like it, subscribe to me, hit the notification bell. Obviously I have no kind of routine with these, so maybe that will change. But in general, you might want to hit notification because I'm clearly not keeping up to any kind of schedule. So thank you. You have a good day. Goodbye.